Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Jim of the Fuzzy, and welcome back to Stellaris. One thing you may note is that our energy is suddenly very negative. This is because I reloaded the game, and we have a minor little problem here of we have too many colonized systems. This gives me a chance to talk about one of the mechanics of Stellaris, which is what are called sectors. You can create various sectors and give them assignments, and I will demonstrate that in a moment. One thing they tend not to do is override whatever you've put in place, I guess would be the best way to describe it. So I can queue up a few things here, and the game won't override those when it comes to making decisions. So, putting down that basic hydroponics farm, and maybe mine, maybe not. Doing that, and then clearing a couple of blockers. Those decisions will not be cancelled once I hand this over to the automated AI. So, there's going to be no problems there. It's going to do that. So how we create a sector, come to the Empire, or we can just click on this, say, hey, sectors. We do have a sector limit, as you can see it's at 3. It is at 3 because there's a base of 2, and we have an extra 1.5 sectors from planets we control. We control 6 planets, so this means that for every 4 planets you get, you can create another sector. Which gives you an idea as to how big the sector should be, I suppose. Which means they'll get smaller as the game progresses, as you get more systems, more colonized planets per system. At the same time, each one needs a governor, and you can only have so many governors. So, as you can see, some of our systems have these little plus signs next to them, which means we can set up those as a capital system of the sector. And in this case, I want this to be the sector. The problem with this is that since this sector is so far away from our main colonized body, I guess you could say, it's going to have a tendency to want to be more independent. I expect that a faction is going to form there that is going to at least somewhat push for independence. Now, the penalty to not having that sector was 10% less influence and 10% less energy credits generated. As you can see, we're producing over 100, so losing 10% of that is rather not fun. But we only went up 10 because our individual sectors, as we can see here, each have focuses, and we only get part of what they generate as resources. In this case, 50%. We can upgrade that to 75%, down to nothing, or 25%. Right now, I think I'm going to leave it at 50%, and given the systems I told it to take, this one has 12 energy credits generated, and this one has 2. I think telling to focus on the energy credits is probably the best idea right now, just because there are so many energy credits that need to be generated. Now, I'm going to create another governor. I'll recruit one. This is interesting. Kirill here might make a very, very good governor for Vol'Tol Prime. especially given that we're setting up a lot of military things there. I think it would be best to put him there. And we can send over the current governor of Valenus Prime to govern our sector. So, yes, you can go over there, and we will give you a brand new governor. Now, the problem with new governors is that we've just lost our extra happiness bonuses. He went from level 3 to level 1, so we lost 4% happiness, and more happiness means more production, more bonuses. So, I guess we'll manage. We probably will, but it's still a little annoying. Get a little more minerals. We're going to have plenty of energy in the future, so we don't have to worry about that. Can't get a power plant level 3 until we get a planetary capital, and we can't get a planetary capital because we don't have enough influence. Because we just recruited a new leader. So we'll leave this run. Oh, yes, I also wanted to worry about diplomacy. These guys, if we look at our overall contacts list, we can look at what these guys are up to. They don't like us. They really don't like us. Although they're not as bad as some of the other empires around. There's 2 up here. The Divine Mandate and the Hotham Hegemony. Both of those have the Evangelizing Zealots personality, which essentially means they're going to go holy war on everybody. They are non-aggression pacts with each other, though. I don't know why, but I suspect that's either going to break eventually, or it is going to result in them getting further upset. Oh, we're still in the sector management mode. Now, one thing that these guys have done to us is close borders. I don't like having the borders closed. So I'm going to express my displeasure by closing our borders to them. Why would our ship's presence be a problem to you? We're territorial, they're territorial, and I don't think our people would have a problem denying territorial access to somebody who doesn't let us through theirs. No matter how friendly they are. We will keep out for now. Oh, I really think there's going to be a war here. But I don't think it's going to be with us. They do have a trade deal with us, and they have rivaled these guys. So if we look at diplomatic map mode and click on them, the rivals, but I don't think they hate each other as much as we do. Maybe they do. At the same time, I think becoming friendlier with these guys would be very much worth the effort. However, it likely means it will draw us into a war with the United Zone provinces. In that case, we will have to have our fleets upgraded, just so we have enough point defense to handle it. So, let's take a look at what we have here. Need more power. Alright then. I guess we're dropping down to level 1 deflectors. Or not. Go with the improved deflectors. And we just won't save that design because we don't have the power plants to afford it, and we are researching better power plants. I just hope we can get those better power plants before a war comes. So we will begin upgrading on both of them. Hopefully this goes relatively quickly. I suspect it will, honestly, because the upgrade times for ships were a problem back in the original release, or so I hear. The developers went out of their way to fix that, so that's very good to hear. But beyond that, we've closed our borders. We may have to rival them. But what I want to do is an attempt to improve our relationships here. They don't like us. They won't form a non-aggression pact with us. But we can guarantee their independence, even if it does cost us some influence every month. We'll increase their trust of us, which apparently improves relationship bonuses. However, it said it was going to go up by 0.25, but it's only going up by 0.2. This is because we are militarists, and it's a little harder to trust people who are likely to, well, who have a reputation of declaring war, especially since they are spiritualist pacifists and we don't get along with them. One other thing I wanted to look at was government types, because a while back we did research more advanced government types. And this, the Illuminated Technocracy, is the advanced version of our government type. And there are more things from this than just the extra research alternative and extra leader capacity, because we get one of each. However, at the moment, it's not really, we don't have the influence to spare, and it's not worth the cost. So now we get to see what happens here.
Ships upgraded. Construction complete.
Well, our ships are upgraded. That's good.
Ships upgraded. Construction complete.
We now have a few fleets. Alright. You... Oh, right, you need more. Wait, why are you... How is my population here supposed to grow if everyone keeps leaving? Let's grab the upgraded engineering facility. And let's get a mining network going. And I think that's all we can do for the moment. Well, no, it's not. I can cancel that because I can build more mining networks here, here, and then build one over here. I am going to need better farms in the not too distant future, though. That's going to be a problem. I'll figure something out, I'm sure. Thankfully, my construction ship is... okay. Those are just my friends, who I'm guaranteeing the independence of, and they're just zipping around. Okay, mining station done. Also, the population here I am a little worried about. While they are individualists and materialists, they're also xenophobes. That is somewhat problematic. We would like to change that, however, at the moment, they are not that advanced. The Bronze Age. Once they get a little further along, we can be in covert infiltration. We could start uplifting them, but that's a bad idea right now.
Construction complete.
But once they hit the industrial age, we can start a covert infiltration campaign. If we leave them as is, then they will grow up and become an independent empire. If we uplift them, they will become a vassal empire. Oh, right. That was something I wanted to worry about. Villainous, I want to give you... I want you to be working on a new science ship.
Research complete.
I'm not sure how long that will take. We've completed our plasma thruster research. Most excellent. Now, do we want cruisers? A bigger category of ship, which is more expensive. Mineral storage capacity would be nice, and higher fleet capacity would also be nice. We could get this, which improves the amount of minerals we get. Whoa, hello there. +8. That's kind of big. Or we can get better railguns. Railguns would not be bad. Although I think they're starting to outstrip our power capacity. Autocannons would also not be bad. Nor would the Fortress be bad, which is the next largest size of space station. I was going to say I'm going to go with whatever's cheapest, but I have 4 things that are cheapest. Looking at that, I think the logical choice is to get the autocannons. Try and get them to get up to the level of our railguns. Because we have enough mineral income for the moment. Although, this is more likely to come up than the mineral isolation. And we don't really need cruisers right now, nor do we need a higher capacity. So I think this does make the most sense. We'll see what other tech comes available shortly. I'm not gonna bother refitting the engines just in time for us to get new power plants. I did queue up this construction ship to go in and build things all throughout this sector. So we'll see how long that takes to get done.
Complete.
We have a governor who has leveled up, and surface construction queue is complete. Good.
Construction complete.
And that is another science ship, which does not have a leader. So I think it's time to use a little more. And anomaly discovery chance increase. Good. Let's grab him. And let's set the stance to passive. And send it over here. To work on the special projects. And let's keep an eye on it to make sure nothing bad happens to it. There are those crystalline entities, and I don't want them to get too close. Hopefully they don't.
Research complete.
More research complete. The Empire leaves, the Empire breathes. We may make up its body, but it is not for the left hand to know what the right hand is doing. New research. Frontier clinics. Those are definitely worth getting. Yes. More habitability, more maximum happiness. Although at the same time, colonization types. How do we feel about continental colonization? Oh. Amoeba breeding program and regenerative hull tissue. Very nice. These bacteria are impregnated with the ship's structural design and will attempt to restore hull integrity should it be compromised. What these do is slowly heal the ship every month, which isn't all that great for ships that are in the middle of combat. But if you're out there and you take a few hits here and there, this is going to help. It might help with torpedoes, since those ignore shields. We've got a lot of point defense. Might be worth getting, but that's really expensive. So are the amoeba flagellas. Even though they're, you know, new strike craft. Okay. That's really good. 50% armor penetration, 100% shield penetration. Unfortunately, we don't yet have anything that uses hangars. Well, that's not entirely true. We have space stations, but I think the Frontier Clinic is our best bet right now. If only for the +5 habitability. And of course the special project that's stopped our engineering research. And physics. New reactor upgrade. To another. Oh, hello, hello. Better wormhole range. Improved assist research. That would be very valuable. Cloud lightning conduit. Cloud lightning. Using our understanding of the fundamental forces involved in generating the void cloud's considerable internal charge to the fullest, the cloud lightning weapon system is a potent damage dealer. It comes in small and large varieties, and it does look like it's pretty potent. And you compare that to, it's like the lasers. More armor penetration. Not as good in accuracy. Not as good in damage, but a bit more range. It's lower cooldown, so maybe not as good. Definitely uses more energy. But it ignores more armor. I don't know. Power Hub. Power Hubs produce some energy credits on their own, but more importantly increase the overall energy credit output of the planet. That's really cheap. But antimatter power. This gives what? 70 months. However, I have an idea. We do that. We swap him out. for this gentleman to speed up our research faster. Now we have a science ship. Wait, I wasn't quite done here. We swap him out for the industrial expert. Industry bonuses are good. And now we take the alert hatchling, give it this level 2 leader, who can definitely use some more experience. Net effect is he's only giving plus 4% instead of plus 10%. But at the same time, he is also helping a plant that doesn't generate huge amounts of science. Hurry up! Almost done there. Thank you.
Debris analyzed.
Debris analyzed. Blue crystal capacitors plus 30%. Regenerable tissue plus 10%. Plus 15 points in physics research and plus 5 in society research. I'm not going to say anything bad about any of that. Now let's come over here. And one thing this planet does need that I can build myself, in fact I think I have to build myself, is the spaceport. Do I? I don't know. Huh. Well, some garrisons. We'll find out. I don't think that's under my direct... Probably has to be. Like I said, we'll find out. But yes, I get half of the energy credits and minerals this sector produces, but I do get 100% of the research. So... that's nice. I'm pretty sure they'll put some stuff on research. How much money do they have? No money. Let's give them a bit of each. I think I forgot to give them money. Oh well. Let's make it a total of 1,000 of each. There we go. That's better. I have a science ship, and I will send it over here. Enter orbit. This planet's not giving me any research yet. But it is... kind of building up. A little bit. We'll see.
Research complete.
Frontier clinics are done. Good. Genome mapping. Definitely valuable. Reduced army upkeep. Valuable, and we'll get through it faster. Better hydroponics farms. And the farming subsidy edict, which gives us 25% more food and lasts for 10 years. Atmospheric filtering gives us better habitability, and that's always a nice thing. Or we can colonize tundra worlds. I can't remember how far out tundra worlds are from... I don't think those are even on the list of things we can colonize. Then they are a step around from arid, I believe. Right. They're only 40% for us, so... tundra worlds aren't really a good idea. So let's go with... genome mapping is probably good. And with that, we've come to the end of this episode. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Jimbo the Fuzzly. I hope to see you